taping you now.
I hope you got that last part where I said I don't like talking shit.
So, what's the weirdest thing that's happened at the show, Stacey?
The weirdest thing that's happened in this show?
Yeah.
Nothing. Everything's been really good. Everything's been really chill.
Such a positive person.
I am. Very positive.
I know. It's a refreshing.
I've had Jerry's fans gave me some beer, which was nice.
Yeah.
Compliments of Jerry. That was sweet.
Compliments of Jerry.
Well, he asked if I wanted some, and then his fans were nice to deliver. That was really sweet of them, all collectively.
I feel like Jerry's fans bring him all kinds of crazy stuff. Some guy, were you here when the guy brought in the satellite, the piece of the space shuttle?
Which space shuttle?
The
one that blew up?
Not the Challenger, the Atlantis or something. Like some
Discovery,
guy.
not Discovery. Yeah, Discovery, right? The one that was coming back in.
I don't know. A Challenger's the one that blew up on the way up.
Yeah, but the Discovery, I think, blew up on the way down. This is morbid.
How old were you when the Challenger blew up?
Was it 86?
Yeah.
I was.
Is that an inappropriate question to ask?
No, I was born in 86. So
Okay.
whatever month that happened,
So
I was either not yet in existence or.
I was in kindergarten, I think, and we saw it live. And the teacher, it was so horrifying. The teacher was like,
Yeah, because kids would watch it because it was like a.
yeah, they
fun
rolled
learning
the
experience.
AV unit
Yeah.
thing into the room, and then we watched a motherfucking spaceship explode on television, and we were like, what?
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you unpack it, it's such a fucking crazy thing that they were like, we have a spaceship that has wheels on it and can land like a
Spaceship.
yeah. You could drive it down the street if you wanted to. I always wanted to do a comic called Skydriver. It's about a guy who buys a plane and he just drives it everywhere, like down the highway and shit.
Just slowing down traffic all the time.
Yeah, the sequel to Skydriver is he drives a space shuttle because it's got wheels too.
You can't take off on one of those, right?
On what?
A space shuttle. They're meant to land.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like
They have to.
can't-
They have to
yeah,
go
you have to
straight
be in a rocket,
Yeah.
like a Saturn V, to
Yeah.
bring you up.
It's not like a
It's
Star
not
Wars. It's not like an
practical,
X-wing
Jason.
fighter.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
practical.
But you could probably take off if you were not trying to go to space.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it
I
works
think
like a
it's-
plane?
Yeah. I think it has plane capabilities.
Do you know there's only 5 feet of space in them too?
Yeah. But you own it. That's the most baller thing you've ever. When we went and had steak the other night, they brought out the glasses, like the for our old fashions, and they were just giant ice cubes. They had not poured the drink yet, so
it was
they
was
set.
a show.
Yeah, they set 4 ice cubes in front of us, and I was like, "This is the most baller shit ever." I got an invisible cocktail.
Did you really for a second kind of think that?
For a second, I was like, "This is some bullshit."
This is how the other
Because
half
there was a
lives.
little bit of a little bit of melt in the bottom of the ice, and I thought that cannot be the fucking cocktail.
I wish you said that out loud. Did you say that out loud?
Yeah, when you go a fancy cocktail place like that, you never know how the drink situation's gonna work out.
They may be invisible liquids.
Yeah, they could be.
Yeah.
No, I have to ask you a couple of questions about about something related to that's useful for people. So I'm making this up on the fly. So, being from a cold place, though, do you find that helps you get stuff done?
No,
Creative.
it's the total opposite.
Oh, yeah.
I feel so uncomfortable working at night in the winter. My fingers get really cold, my toes get really cold, and I just want to lay robes and in bed. I guess it works for some people, but I just get sad that I'm cold and I want to fix it.
Yeah.
Hot showers, laying in bed, but you can't lay in bed.
Because I feel like I'm more productive in the winter.
I think the difference is our winter is interminable.
Yes.
It never ends. So I've noticed the people in my life in Boston are probably around February, people start getting genuinely depressed, and you can tell it's just it permeates everybody.
Yeah.
Because people just get really run down from Boston. Going to the airport, everyone was so shitty.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I'm used to it. I don't sweat it at all. And then coming here and right off the bat, everyone was like so nice and polite. And I'm like, shit, man, we are really, we're a little massholey. And it's like, I just appreciate it. That happened to me in New York the first day I moved to New York. It was like for college, and I overslept the first day to get to my orientation. And the dorm left without me because they went as a group because it was literally the first day any of us were in the city. And I was like, I felt so fucked. I was like, 18, and I was like, I don't know how to get anywhere.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I was like, I think it's this way. I think a bus will get there. This was before like Google Maps and shit, right? And so I find a bus, and I'm like, geez, I get on the bus, and I'm kind of like mildly panicking, and I say to the bus driver, like, I kind of don't know where I'm supposed to go. And he goes, don't worry, honey, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna tell you where to get off. Don't worry about it. And I was like, everyone's so nice here. I love this city. I instantly fell in love with New York after that.
Do you think what you put out, like as a vibe, it certainly shows up in people's work? Do you think I'm wrong about that? Like the vibe that a person has
shows up in their work.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right, and it's just like, do we know how to read it or not?
Sure.
Right? Yeah. And how well do we know that person?
Yeah.
So do you think that is what that vibe draws people to you? So like if you, so you're saying you didn't have any weird experiences, maybe it's because of what you put out.
I definitely, I feel like when people come to my table and they're just like, hey, I really like that, I definitely feel like whatever they're picking up on, I'm like, I feel like you get it. I don't know if that makes sense. I've met one of my people. But you know the difference. You see people where they're like, they'll look at your stuff and then they'll just be like, and you're like, that's not my person, And then it hits them. And it's like, I don't think my work is for everybody at all. I know tons of people that don't like my style, or, it's too anime influenced, which is like, still stigmatized. So when I find someone that it speaks to, I'm like, you get it,
Well, I think you're fantastic.
Thanks, Jason Latour.
I did Baltimore Comic-Con one year and made $0 for a whole weekend. It sold no commissions to do anything. And then the second I started putting books out, things started to slowly, incrementally change. But then the explosion was so rapid, that now I don't really remember I get bored sitting at my table now. If there's any lull.
I mean, I've been on both ends of that in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah.
And it is
your career
it was
arc
jarring.
Is fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me too. I still don't understand. But yeah, it was jarring because obviously anyone's first convention is I made no money. I think I made $15. And then one day, and I did it for fun. I was like, oh, here I go. I'm gonna draw things I like, and people might like them, and we're gonna have a great time. I met other aspiring people, and then it just changed one show, and I was like, this is, unfortunately at the time, I could not deal with it. It was way too different. I was like, I don't know what's going on. It was kind of a negative experience.
Oh yeah.
Even though yes, everyone was kind, it was just extremely overwhelming, and I was not prepared in the least for it. And now it's calmed down considerably, and you can't take anything for granted, which is great. And now I'm just kind of learning yeah, it's all right. Some days are good, some days are chill.
Yes.
It's fine. It's not a judgment on me, or
it's not. There's, especially at these bigger shows, it's there's 15 things every person in here loves. So they're racing around trying to find a good percentage enough to have paid for that ticket, to justify have paid for that entrance.
Yeah.
Then they stumble upon things they didn't expect, and so hopefully you're one of the things they love, or one of the things that they stumble upon that they didn't expect. But the guarantee that that's going to happen is, I always say I never know if I'm ever going to have anybody else show up at my table again.
It's the truth. You can't take that stuff for granted.
You can't. It goes away so fast. It comes and goes so fast.
I'm definitely one of those people where like a lot of it's just left out of your control in terms of like what people want, what people expect when they're here for their own personal experience.
Is it called confirmation bias? I feel like a lot of what everybody does is design a con experience that is built on confirmation bias. You know, like we all do it. Like if people who use crunch the numbers do it the same way that people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. You know, but I think what's most important is making it self-sustainable.
Yeah, like when I first started, it was like, what would people like? Let me draw that thing people like. And now, like, I couldn't give. Now it's all what do I want? And then it's like it's a gamble. Like my Sailor Moon stuff, like nothing sold day one. Nothing, not a single print of that. And I was like kind of bummed, but I'm also like, you know, it's for people that, you know, when they come and they like it, they'll buy it.
Yes.
And it was for me, and I love doing it, and I don't regret doing it, even though it's not my most successful print.
Right.
I still love it.